Hello, Carol. I'm going to show you step by step how to make those delicious chocolate chip cookies that we made. And here we go. First thing we're going to do is melt 10 tablespoons of butter until it gets to a nice brown. Do not want to rush this part by turning the heat up. I have mine set on 5 because it will go over too quickly. You can kind of see where it's nearly there, and it's going to go a little bit, just a little bit longer, until it develops a nuttier smell, fragrance, I guess. And there we have it. And then we pour that. There's 4 more tablespoons in the bowl. So for a total of 14 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. And we pour the now browned butter. Give that a stir until all the butter is melted. I really like this part when it foams up like that. Did somebody say butter? Now with the butter melted, now you're going to add 3/4 cup light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar to add a different complexity to the flavor, but for this recipe I'm using light brown sugar, and 1/2 cup of just white granulated sugar. And you're going to put that in. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're going to add salt. I use 1/2 teaspoon, but you can use a full teaspoon. I would recommend doing the salt to taste. All right, give that another stir. Until it looks pretty combined and the sugar looks like it's starting to melt a little with the hot butter. You're going to use 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. Give that a stir. And you can see it starting to come together cohesively. We're going to do that until it looks pretty well combined. And this is the part that will confuse some people, but we're going to let it sit for 3 minutes. In a separate bowl, we're going to add 1 3/4 cup flour, baking soda. We're going to do 1/2 teaspoon. Boop. I'm going to give that a stir. But this is the most crucial part of the whole thing.
Not that whole dumping the flour.
No, not that part.
The stirring bit.
You only want to stir until just almost combined. And I'll explain why in a second. All right. That looks good. Oh. Ghiradelli. Semi-sweet. But also Ghiradelli bittersweet. 60% cacao. The same amount. And here's the reason you don't stir all the flour in before you put the chocolate chips, because you're still going to stir, you're still going to work the batter. And if you overwork it, because you just want it combined, but if you overwork it, it's going to make very dry, very tough cookies. Tough cookies.
And nobody wants tough cookies.
Nobody wants tough cookies. Using a scooper, ice cream scoop. Bam!
It makes a pretty big cookie.
It will make a pretty big cookie, so make sure you space them. Cookies. Alright?
That looks beautiful.
Yes. And then you put these in the oven for 6 minutes. Turn them and bake them another 5 minutes.
At 375.
At 375. They will sit on this pan for 5 minutes to cool, and then I will scoop them off, put them on a plate to let them cool further, and then I will eat them. But there you go. Those are the cookies.